Good morning, everyone. It is morning as I'm doing this recording of the blog. Hope everyone is doing well. As I'm recording this, it is Labor Day weekend. It's a little bit funky out there today. It's kind of cloudy, but we're still going to make the best of it and have a great barbecue pool party. So anyhow, let's get right to the blog. The topic of this week's blog is something that we all deal with from time to time in our lives, from other people and actually from ourselves. So the name of the blog today is called Judgment. Why is it that humans are so inclined to judge one another? What makes it so easy for us to see the faults in others, but often we can't recognize those same faults in ourselves? I think the answer is pretty simple. I think most of us can't seem to find the real courage to explore ourselves truthfully and confront what we may call the shadow parts of who we are. So we don our outer masks in hopes that no one will see our faults, failings, and imperfections, momentarily believing that we're all alone in our flaws and our weaknesses, which we know is not really the truth. And we're all quite clever at metamorphosizing into different versions of ourselves, depending on the person or persons we are with. The other thing to remember is that we cannot see in others what does not exist within ourselves. And that's important to remember, and I'll repeat that. We cannot see in others what does not exist within us. So if we criticize others for being judgmental, for example, that negative tendency most likely exists within us as well. We are simply refusing to do the inner work in order to realize and confront the fact that at times we have behaved in that way as well. We must get to know our immortal soul to be able to live authentically and to create a life that will bring us peace, contentment, and a true sense of purpose. Why is this so important to recognize and understand? Well, here's an example. We're going on a job interview, all been there, so that we can make more money and evolve and grow within our career. We think from a physical perspective that this will make our lives much better. We can then buy the beautiful house we long for, the brand new expensive car, or be able to go on wonderful vacations all around the world. Our lust or longing for material comforts overpowers the voice of our soul, urging us to remember that this home and all of its earthly treasures are temporary, and that our soul's love and truth must be front and center in all of our choices. And this doesn't mean that we shouldn't long for the pleasures in this world. We should, but without attachment, understanding that when we leave this place, all of that is left behind. So it's really all about balance. So we go on the interview. We meet the person who will decide our fate, and after a few minutes, our intuition tells us exactly what this person wants to hear in order to hire us. So we begin to deviate from our authentic self and put on the appropriate mask and get to work. The problem is that what we're saying, how we are coming across, is not in alignment with our spiritual energy or who we authentically are. We're kind of like actors in a play. But our plan worked. We got the job. However, once we begin working for this person or company, we find that we just can't keep up the facade. we begin trying to simply be ourselves and present to the people around us who we truly are, our real personality, along with our genuine soul energy. Is that not a good thing? It is a good thing in the long run. In the short term, however, it may not be, because the person who hired us, it turns out, just simply doesn't line up with our energy. They may begin to judge us because we may be a mirror for them, for who they are not and who they wish to be. And this happens often too. They may start finding fault with everything we do, and then we feel unappreciated or misunderstood. We may even begin to judge ourselves and get lost in self-doubt and self-judgment. So we try harder to be what they want us to be, but it just becomes impossible to continue pretending we are something we are not. Eventually, though, when we return home to ourselves and spend time within the temple of our soul's light, we remember how beautiful and transcendent we are, just as we all are. We come to a point where we understand that being authentic and true to ourselves is the only path that will lead to attracting and allowing certain people and situations into our lives that will reflect the love and appreciation that we have for ourselves. Now, this realization does not mean that the person who hired us is a bad person. It simply means that at this point in time, our soul's energies are not compatible, and that we are most likely simply in different points in our soul's evolution. So we can then move on without judgment or repudiation, but simply with a heart and mind that wishes the people we choose to leave behind nothing but happiness and peace. By the way, we can interchange this work situation with romantic relationships, and we will find the same truth. When we try to be what we believe our romantic interest wants us to be, instead of being ourselves, the relationship will most likely end in failure. We again eventually just can't keep up the misrepresentation of who we want them to believe that we are. Our partner then finds themselves having fallen in love with someone that doesn't really exist at all, a stranger. Hopefully, these kinds of experiences finally teach us we've had enough failures and tough lessons from our disingenuous behavior, and we then commit ourselves to just simply being who we are, with all of our faults and shortcomings, along with our fantastical qualities and our beautiful hearts and souls. We understand that looking for the faults in others and bringing attention to them is an indication that our self-love meter has gone a bit haywire, and our powerful and essential ego is rearing its sometimes fearful head. This may happen again from time to time because we are human as well as divine. The difference is that now, when it happens, we immediately recognize our misstep and take a moment to self-correct. The point is that seeking to discover who we truly are with fear and believing we will find a person not worthy of love, kindness, and compassion from others is the farthest thing from the truth. We have nothing to fear. What exists in that sacred and immortal space within is nothing but pure, mystical, and magnificent light, and unconditional and eternal love. When we realize that is who we really are, we begin to live that truth and inspire others to do the same. We find that we do not even have to explain who we are, for our authentic and breathtaking light shines forth like the aurora borealis, or the brightest star in the darkest night sky. In fact, it becomes for us our North Star, always guiding us home to ourselves, and eventually home to the arms of our loving Creator. So I will bid you adieu as I leave you with a stanza from the great Billy Joel song, The Stranger. He speaks about this topic so poetically. If I could sing, I would sing it for you, but I can't. Well, I can, but you wouldn't want to hear it. So this is the stanza. Well, we all have a face that we hide away forever, and we take them out and show ourselves when everyone is gone. Some are satin, some are steel, some are silk, and some are leather. They're the face of the stranger, but we love to try them on. So, hope you enjoyed this blog. I really do think it's a very important topic to talk about because we've all been there. I just had a conversation with my granddaughter who was going into middle school, and I kind of went, middle school kids can be kind of gossipy, and we had this conversation about how it's just not a good idea to, get involved in those kinds of things. She's the sweetest thing ever, and I didn't want her to misunderstand what was going on around her and just be true to who she really is. And I remember a story of when my daughter Brittany was in college, and Brittany is the kind of person that doesn't get involved in gossip. It's just, it's not something she wants to deal with, and she has a multitude of friends from all different, countries, and she's like the, United Nations. And she had a lot of friends in college, and they all loved her, but they all kind of bickered and talked about each other and judged each other. And she refused to get involved in any of that. But guess what happened? Eventually, all of those people got together and said, we need to stop because it's not good for Brittany. It's hurting her. So we need to get along for her sake. So the next time we find ourselves in situations where somebody's behaving badly, for example, whatever they're doing, and one person says, or we say, can you believe that guy? Can you believe what he's doing? And he's so this or so that or all this, and there's where it starts. And we get engaged in this, back and forth conversation, talking about this person and judging them. And the next time it happens and we start to go there, I hope that you guys will remember our discussion that we've had right now and pull back and say, nope, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be the love that I am, because I've been in situations where I behaved badly too. And I certainly wouldn't want people talking about me behind my back or judging me. So I'm not going to do that. How much greater a place would this world be if we could all do that? Anyway, I'm going to leave you with this. Happy Labor Day, even though I know that you're going to receive this blog probably on Tuesday morning. So it'll be after Labor Day, but I just want to say Happy Labor Day, and I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend despite the little bit uncooperative weather. So have a great week ahead, everyone. Namaste, and I love and appreciate all of you more than you know.